Hi, I'm Ryan Flood, COO of Water Analytics. We design and manufacture the Aquametrics brand of water quality instrumentation, including the most innovative sensor in our history, the AM-Fog Probe. It is the first portable electronic device that measures the thickness of the fog layer in a grease interceptor. I'm going to show you how easy it is to use the probe to quickly, cleanly, and accurately measure the thickness of the fog layer in an interceptor. If you're in the business of inspecting grease traps, then you know how messy and stinky they are. You also know that currently the only way to determine the thickness of the fog layer is to use a core sampler like a Dipstick Pro or a Sludge Judge. Core samplers are messy and time consuming, but if you're an inspector, then it's likely that you're using one for enforcement purposes. The AM-Fog Probe can speed up the inspection process by as much as a factor of 3 and can do so with almost no mess. I can even wear a nice clean white shirt like this and not worry. It can electronically measure and record a fog level of any interceptor with a fog thickness up to 64 inches. How does it work? Well, the AM-Fog comes in sizes from 16 to 64 inches in increments of 8 inches. This one here is 24 inches and is sized for a typical hydromechanical grease trap found under a small restaurant. The probe measures capacitance on the surrounding medium and is minimally affected by the coating of the tube. When not in use, the probe is stored inside this hard PVC case. That's a secret second function, but more about that in a minute. Between the case and the probe is a squeegee that you can use to wipe off the probe. Here's how easy it is to use the AM-Fog Probe. First, I pull out the probe from its case and press the button on its head. It shows a slow blinking blue or green light. Then I take out my cell phone, Android or iPhone, and launch the AM-Fog app. The app is free and doesn't collect any personal information from you. I hit the scan button to find the probe, and voila, the probe shows up on a list. I can connect to any one of several probes within a Bluetooth distance. I press the probe on the list and I can enter information about the probe and the location in which I'm sampling. The bottom of the screen shows a sequence of numbers. These define the range of values that correspond to water, fog, air, and if you enable it, sludge. The probe's electronics sets arbitrary values of 0 for water and 10,000 for air. Fog is somewhere in between, roughly 3,000 to 8,000. We are still working on an algorithm that will accurately and consistently measure the thickness of sludge. Typical values are between 1,000 and 2,000, but stay tuned for more information on sludge. Here's the screen showing the set points for water, fog, and air. As you gain familiarity with the probe readings, you will adjust these numbers for the interceptors in your jurisdiction. More about that in the next video. Assuming I have calibrated the fog probe, I go straight to the measure screen. There I see a bar graph showing the layers of material surrounding the probe. Right now it's all light blue because light blue is the color of air. Now watch what happens when I insert the probe into a container of fog. After a few seconds, the bar graph shows blue at the bottom, yellow in the middle, and light blue on the top. Dark blue is the color coding for water, and yellow is the color for fog. Light blue is air, and the app uses this level to determine the height of the liquid in the interceptor. If sludge is enabled, it will appear as brown. Because the probe knows where the top of the water level is, the app calculates the percentage of fog in the interceptor. To really see what's going on, just go to the diagnostic screen. You can see the actual measurements at every inch in addition to the temperature of the inside of the trap. That's very useful information for fine-tuning the set points in the setup screen. We'll go more into that in the next video. If you're an inspector or hauler and you're visiting several restaurants, then you'll want to save the measurements you just made. Just simply hit the Save button. And the app saves the diagnostic screenshots along with the name and location of the food service establishment. The mess of the core sampler is gone, but the probe still has a coating of grease when you remove it. That's where the squeegee comes in. Just slide it down and up again, and one wet wipe after the wiper will make your probe squeaky clean. The AM-Fog sensor needs calibrating about once every month. This takes about 4 minutes, and all you need is to immerse it in water and again in air. Air is easy, but where are you going to find a container that is deep enough and filled with water? Easy, the carrying case. What if you had an interceptor that is buried underground and your arm isn't long enough to reach it? No problem. With the extension bracket mounted into the head, you can simply screw in an extension pole that you can find in any hardware store. The AM Fog Probe is ideal for inspectors who need to ensure compliance with local regulations, haulers who must fill out a manifest when they empty a customer's grease trap, and restaurant owners who want to know when it's time to call the hauler. Want to know more? Call us at 978-309-0700 or email us at info@wateranalytics.net. Thank you.